We are going to be discussing about tag, that is tag in Azure. So if I go to the website of Microsoft, here you can see Microsoft described tags are metadata elements that you apply to your Azure resources. They are key value pairs that help you identify resources based on settings that are relevant to your organizations. So let's say, for example, you are working for a company, and that company have different departments. So then you have been asked by, for example, the sales department to install a virtual machine. What you can actually do, you can actually install that virtual machine and then link it to the sales department. So let's say, for example, we have this virtual machine, which is Windows 11 operating system. Here we have tags. So what I can do, you can see there's a tag already created here. This tag is being created by policy. So every single virtual machine that is being created or resources, this tag will be added to it. So if I go back again to my BE0001 and I decide to add, for example, I says this tag belongs to the sales. And mind you, you should be careful when you are using, for example, if I use capital letter S, and you decide to use small letter s for a different virtual machine or a different resources, those are two different kind of tags. I can say this tag, the owner is just, let me just add a value of Kelvin, and then don't forget to hit the apply. So we can actually do the same thing. For example, I can go to DC02 and say, well, I want to add, let me just add sales. Okay, that was a capital letter sales. And then we can say this belongs to Kelvin. Then, for example, we can say that DC001 belongs to the ICT department, and we can just add, for example, Johnson to this. Then we can also go to our resource group. I have a resource group here. For example, I can decide to add some tags and say this belongs to the sales department, and we can add Kelvin to that. So we can do that for a different resource group as well. Let me just add sales and Kelvin. And now, for example, let's say you want to actually find out which resources or which virtual machine belongs to a specific department. What you need to do is to go to your search and tap tag. Here you can see we have tags. So click on tags, and you can see we have the sales, the ICT Johnson, and the Kelv Global. So if I click sales, you can see we have, for example, we have some virtual machines, and we also have some resources. And the same thing goes to, for example, if I go to ICT Johnson, you can see we only have just one virtual machine. And if I go to Kelv Global, which is actually being added automatically using a policy, you can see we have every single resources I create in this my Azure tenant is going to be, the tag is going to be applied automatically, and this tag was created by policy, and I cannot delete this tag. If, for example, if I go to, let me go to my virtual machine and I decide to delete this tag, let's say I say delete all and I click apply. So it's only going to delete the sales tag, and you can see the Kelv Global ICT tag remains. It's the same thing goes also to, if I delete all and I click apply, you can see it's only going to delete the ICT tag, and the other tag will not be deleted. Why? Because this tag is being created by a policy. The only way to remove this tag is to delete the policy, and then you will come and delete this tag, and the new tag will not be created for new virtual machines or for new resources.